I read only can.
You just read from the text. مش احنا قلنا ما فيش حاجة اسمها reading. We have to memorize, we have to understand and memorize and make a video from our knowledge, مش reading from a paper. صح يا حبيبة؟
Because or survives or the accomplishment of adjectives such as scientific.
حبيبة هتعملي فيديو ده تاني يا حبيبي. You will make a video. I want you to write a paragraph that you understand what she wrote. I want you to do I want you to gather your information. After gathering your information from the net, revise them and rewrite it in your language. Revise and write it in your Salahuddin. Don't send me hi. Send hi to Dr. Sharif number is Salahuddin, not mine. Dr. Sharif number is 011. Eh? I sent on this also. La la la, because he's the one who's following up, not me. I receive hundreds of messages every day. Okay, guys. So, Habiba, I want you to gather your informations, the interesting informations from your, what do they call it? From the net. After that, read, understand. If there is a word you don't understand, get its meaning from the net, its definition from the net. Rewrite it, ya Habiba. Rewrite it based on your language and understand it fully, memorize it, and make a video. So you owe me, Habiba owes me a technology video. Let me write it. Habiba, you need to do your tech video again using your own language. Okay, let's watch the next one, ya Habiba. Okay, number 2. Let's watch the second video.
Hi guys, my name is Habiba. Today I'll talk with you about banana plant.
يلا بقى حبيبة, tell us about banana plants, حياتي.
Yes,
Yes.
I sent the video messenger because don't want to send WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll open it here.
Why the problem is
because your video is very big, because your video size is very big, that's why. You need to make a, you need to change the setting of your video, your camera or recording setting. You have to reduce the resolution of your video from the setting of your mobile. You need to reduce the video resolution, so when you make longer videos, it will be a smaller size.
It's 700. I don't know.
You have to make it less than that. No. Yalla Habiba, tell us about banana plants.
Banana plant represents some of the largest herbaceous plants existing in the present. It reaches to about 9-meter height.
Miss, I sent from Dr. Sharif, but he don't have internet.
I will tell him to check it out because he's on the phone. You don't remember your Habiba?
Yeah.
You will do the banana plant again, ya Habibat Albi. Plant again. خلاص يلا next one. وراكم.
Hi guys, my name is Habiba. Today we'll talk with you about apple tree.
Apple trees. يلا حياتي. Tell us about apple trees.
Apple trees are large if grown from seeds. Apple trees are propagated by grafting into rootstocks, which controls the size of resulting tree. There are more than 7,500 known as the cultivars of apples.
They're A, they are A. One more time. I didn't hear you. They are A. One more time.
There are more than 7,500 known as the cartfuls of apples,
Okay.
which are resulting from in a range of desert characteristics. Different cartfuls are bred for various tastes and uses, including cooking and eating raw.
Cooking,
The
like
term bread.
cooking, including cooking. You said cocaine. Cooking and cooking يعني الحلوين. Cooking.
Okay.
Hmm.
The term,
What else?
that's I remember.
Okay. Fine. Let's watch Muhammad's video. Thank you, ya Habiba. You have 2 more videos to do. Muhammad's video.
Liguaza Falls. Liguaza Falls are waterfalls of the Liguaza River on the border of the Argentina province.
River يا محمد ولا river? River مش river يا محمد. River, and open up your microphone يا محمد. River.
Of Misiones and the Brazilian state of Parana. Together, they make up the largest waterfall in the world. The falls divided the river into the upper and lower Liguaza.
To the A? Upper.
The upper and lower.
Upper and lower. Muhammad, where are you, Habibi? Alhamdulillah.
Liguaza. The Liguaza Falls height is 82 meters and its flow rate is 1.756 meters square per second.
Habiba, where is your fall story? Where is your fall video?
What?
Where is your fall, the Iguaza fall video? You didn't make the Iguaza fall video. You just only did your old homework. You didn't do your new homework. Muhammad, Habibi, lower, upper and lower, مش upper, upper, huh? Upper and lower. Okay, yeah, tell me, upper and lower.
Upper and lower.
This is number 1. Number 2, ya Muhammad, usually guys, when we are talking about something, we have to have a headline, we have to have an introduction, we have to have 2, 3 juicy details, and we have to have a conclusion. انت بدأت من كده يعني you just started just like that, you didn't give any description, you didn't give any information, you didn't say that what you're going to talk about. Okay, you give the information, you have to do conclusion. Okay, your story didn't have a proper beginning, well, it didn't have a proper ending, your video. Okay, you are going to write a proper paragraph about it. A paragraph supposed to have a headline, now headed, it's supposed to have introduction, it's supposed to have 3, 4, 5 juicy details, body, and it has to have an inclusion. The people over there, they like it. The people over there, masalan, they are making a living. It's good for the kaza geographical مثلا location, it's kaza. فهمت الفكرة? You have to give me a conclusion, you have to give me an ending. Okay, what does it do? What is it good for? What is it bad for? Does it create any problems? Does it help the people economically, financially? Something good or something bad? Okay, you have to have a conclusion, ya Muhammad. The same for you guys. Guys, your writing supposed to have a heading, supposed to have an introduction, it's supposed to have a body. The body is 5, 6, 7 nice juicy details, and in conclusion.
How is the rainbow forming? When sunlight hits a rain droplet, some of light is reflected. The electromagnetic spectrum is made of light with many different wavelengths, and each is reflected at a different angle. Spectrum is separated, producing a rainbow.
Okay, Muhammad, could you tell us how a rainbow is created?
When the sunlight hits a rain droplet, some of light reflected, and the electromagnetic spectrum is made up of light of many different lenses, and each is reflected at a different angle. The spectrum separated, producing a rainbow.
Thank you very much. Producing. Muhammad Habibi, when you're making videos, try to smile. Try to smile. Try to
false.
no. You need to smile more. You need to move your head a little bit more. Your tone is very flat. You need to have better intonations.
Banana fruit of the genus Musa, of the family Musa.
Banana plants. Banana plants. Muhammad, could you tell us about banana plants?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Why? You were reading from the a text?
Not exactly.
It's okay, Habibi, don't worry. You will be doing it one more time, Habib. Albi. Muhammad, do the banana plant video one more time. Okay, thank you very much. Sarah, she sent it on Messenger. Let me watch. Sarah sent a video. You sent a video? One video? You had 5, 6 videos. You sent me one video?
On the world. Maria and Thomas have to do just to help around the house. They get up before their grandparents or their younger brothers or sisters.
Why are you waiting for me?
You can't send it via WhatsApp. Okay. Sarah, tell me about the story. Tell me the story of Maria and Thomas. Tell us the story of Maria and Thomas.
Maria and Thomas have to do.
Maria and Thomas are.
Have to do jobs to help around the house, and they get up early to. They get up early before their grandparents.
They get up early.
They get up early before their grandparents or their younger brothers and sisters. They get up early to get the water for their family.
To get the water or fetch water. They got up early. They go to fetch. F-E-T-C-H. Fetch water.
Fetch water to their family. The village is sorry.
1 point.
Their village about a mile from their house. From
the village. The village is a mile. Is about 1 mile. Okay, wait.
It's easy to go there, but walk back is difficult.
Going the way back. The way back.
The way back is difficult.
Okay.
The water is heavy, and the road is up the hill, on the hill. Fine. The road is up the hill. When it's hot, when it's hot, when it's hot, the job is more than difficult, and Maria and Thomas live in Bolivia. Many families in the village, mother get the water for their family, but Maria and Thomas don't have a mother and father either.
Okay, they are orphans. They are orphans and they have no parents. They are orphans and they have no parents.
Parents.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. You're welcome.
Any other information? Okay. Yalla. Sarah, tell me how the rainbow is created.
Okay. The water when the water fall. When the water is مش عارفة أنطقها بس يعني
And the
بتنزل
water falls from the top of the
to the bottom. Clouds are created before it. And when the sun reflected on the clouds, make a rainbow.
It makes a rainbow.
Makes
Okay,
a
Sarah, you will do me another rainbow video, but as Muhammad did, you need to do a research on the internet and see how rainbows are created, okay, in a more technical way, in a more technical and professional way. Okay, Sarah, tell me about Dead Sea.
Dead Sea. Okay. The sea is very salty because wait. هو salty عشان عارفة ازاي.
Dead Sea. Sea is a closed parameter, has closed parameter, صح? Dead Sea is a closed salt lake. Dead Sea is a closed salt lake. Where is it located?
Located in Jordan Valley.
Okay.
Okay.
Inside which rift? The A&A rift. Syrian and?
Syrian and I think I don't remember.
Syrian
Africa?
and African rift. Okay.
Africa.
In which part of Asia?
What?
In which part of Asia? انت عملتي copy paste من الانترنت. تسلم ايديكي. يلا Sarah, make the Dead Sea video. Dead Sea video. Okay. Salahuddin is going to send us. You will send.
Yes, I will say the informations.
Yeah, you'll tell me the information. Okay, tell me which one. Which one?
I will say first Maria and Thomas.
Okay, tell us about Maria and Thomas's story.
Maria and Thomas wake up very early to go fetch up water. When they go, it's easy, but the way back, it's hard. The water is so heavy. The village is 1 mile near their house.
1 mile near, or 1 mile away from their house?
1 mile away from their house. The water is so heavy. The water is so heavy.
The way going back is very difficult because the water
is so heavy. Maria says that if we used water,
if we don't use water carefully, Maria says that if we don't
use water carefully, the water will finish and we have to go after school bring water again. Most of the village, their mom go bring for them water, but Maria and Thomas are orphans.
Okay.
They live with their grandfathers and mothers.
Grandparents, much grandfather, grandmother, grandparents.
Grandparents, and they have a small brother.
And the grandparents are very old. Okay, what else, Salah? Which other video do you?
The rainbow.
Okay.
When the water falls from the waterfall, and
from the top of waterfall, when the water flows,
the top of the waterfall, and goes to the below.
The bottom? No, to the bottom.
It goes to the bottom. It creates clouds, and when the sun shines, it reflects its rays in the clouds and makes a rainbow.
Okay.
Um, uh, I will talk about Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is called dead because it has so many salt.
So many, ولا so much?
So much.
So much salt. It's located beside Jordan and Syria.
Okay.
Most of the fish can't live there because the water is so salty.
Okay.
And it's like a lake between Jordan. It's beside Jordan, and it's like a lake.
Okay, guys. I'll be waiting for your videos, yeah, Salahuddin. And next time I'll be asking you because you had many mistakes and you were not answering or talking fast enough. The same goes for all of you. The same goes for all of you. And then what were your assignments? These were your assignments, okay? How rainbow is created. خلاص, forget about it. We know how rainbow is created. Whoever didn't do the rainbow, you have to do it. And again, because you're big boys and big girls and you're having a good English level, you have to do a research on the net to get like the paragraph more professional. Okay, you have
Okay.
Thomas story. If you haven't done the Thomas story, you have to do the Thomas story. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You say make a video. Wait. Make a video about fall video about waterfall يعني.
Yes, and the water for how
Iguazu?
rainbow is
Iguazu
created.
ولا
How
أي؟
about the Iguazu waterfall? Okay.
Okay.
We said about Thomas' story. Okay. Do a research paragraphs about the questions and send paragraph. Then make a video. الحتة فاكر على الايه على page. This is I don't
Yes,
remember the
I
page.
do.
You did it. Okay, send it. Whatever you did, send it because you're going to talk about it. Okay. That's
يعني
it.
هو يعني إحنا بنعمل ساعة اللي إحنا شايفينه في الخريطة صح؟
Yes, and you have to listen to the audio. Listen to the audio, بعدين according to the audio and your understanding, create questions and answers. Okay, let's see. Good reading strategies. Good reading strategies. Let's see. We said in order to do a good reading strategies, we need few things. Number one, scanning. And scanning a scanner, like a scanner. Reading a text quickly to find the specific information. So how do I do scanning when I'm reading something? I'm reading it very fast and search for specific information. زي scanner. I have a paragraph in front of me. I will scan it with my eyes very fast and search for the specific informations or specific words I'm searching for. Number two, in order to understand and have a good reading strategies, you have to do summarizing, okay? يعني summarizing, يعني I will choose the headers for each part of the text, okay? In order for me to do summarize and understand, I have to create a heading or headers for each part. يعني each paragraph will have a header. The header is the content or is the overall sentence about the information in that particular paragraph. Using general knowledge, using what you already know to understand the text. Whenever there is a text, okay, for example, I understand كل حاجة except surface. مثلا there is a text, I understand كل حاجة except the surface. I will look at the picture. I will read all the sentences before surface or after surface. I will try to make sense. يعني إيه تقريبا almost. What's the meaning of surface? Surface has to do something with water. Surface has to do lying in a shallow water. It means floating. So surface means on top of something, right? So every time, guys, in a paragraph, in a story, in an article, there is a word I don't understand, read the paragraph before, read the sentences before that word, read the story from the beginning till prior to that الكلمة المعينة دي, and try to make sense of it. Okay, not always I would remember. I don't have a dictionary in my mind. I cannot remember the meaning of all the words, but reading the sentences, reading before that particular word, reading the paragraphs before that particular word or words, and I can make sense, I can understand somehow almost 50 to 60% what does that meaning. Okay, this is called a using your general knowledge. How do you think that she gets its name? Scan the text and find answers. Okay, so in your opinion, of course, Colina, we read and we did a research, but why do you think it's called Dead Sea?
I think because
Because it has so many salt.
So
and
much salt, because
much salt and
it's very salty.
don't have
Any living creatures. It doesn't have any living creatures due to the high level of salt. High level يعني إيه level, due to high level of salt. Okay, the sea doesn't have any living creature or no sea creatures, no sea animals or no sea creatures. Okay, ممكن أنا هقول sea animal أو هقول sea creature or هقول fish. Okay, what do they call it? Our living things. Our living things. Living things يعني الحاجات اللي بيعيش صح؟ Our living things. So I can say sea animals, I can see sea creature, I can see living things. No living things can live in that amount of salty water. So the salt levels in the Dead Sea are very high. That is why no living things can survive. Survive يعني يعيش. Survive in the Dead Sea and they will die. Let's look at the exercise. La, 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 la. Okay, because nothing lives in it, because you can float in it, voila, because it's really a lake.
Because nothing lives in it.
Yes, it is called Dead Sea because nothing lives in it. Nothing lives in it. Lives. Lives عشان there is one Dead Sea. Whenever I talk about something singular, الverb هياخد s, extra s أو as صح? So because there is nothing lives in it. Let's see the next. While you read and answer, okay? So let's read. Who wants to read the first paragraph? Yes, Sarah, read the first paragraph.
Okay. The man in the picture isn't lying in very shallow water.
shallow يعني ايه؟ shallow يعني shallow deep. The opposite of deep is shallow. Deep, very deep, and shallow. Deep and shallow. Okay. So if I don't know the meaning of deep, I don't know the meaning of shallow. I know shallow is opposite of deep. Deep, what's the meaning? If I ask you, yes, Sarah, you don't know, you cannot explain to me what's the meaning of shallow. You can tell me not very deep, not very deep. Yani a, yani surface, yani short, yani it's not deep. The depth is very little depth. When I say shallow, yani not very deep, yani a very short depth. Depth يعني العمق, صح? A very short, it has a very short depth. The sea has a very short depth. Okay.
He's actually floating on the surface.
Surface. Okay.
How it is how that is that possible? Because he's floating in the Dead Sea, a very usual body of water.
Very unusual body of water. A very unusual body of water. Okay, good job. So it says the man we see in the picture, okay, he's not lying in a shallow water. The shaklo, it looks like he's lying in a shallow water, but he's not, because Dead Sea is deep. He is not. The opposite, he's not. هو مش lying على shallow water. He's actually floating. He's actually floating on the surface. يعني هو بيعوم على surface, floating on the surface. How's that possible? ازاي؟ when I say مثلا when I want to say ازاي دي ازاي ده اشمعنى ازاي عملته ازاي هقول ايه؟ How's that possible? Because he's floating in the Dead Sea, a very unusual body of water. ليه body of water? Because the texture of water, the Dead Sea water is different. يلا يا حبيبة, number 2.
The Dead Sea isn't really a sea. It's a very large lake between Israel and
Israel,
Jordan.
Israel, 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 Israel.
Israel and Jordan. People call it a sea because it's salty like the ocean. Uh, they call it the Dead Sea because nothing lives in it or even near it. Why not? Because the water is very salty.
So the Dead Sea, yes, they're in the story. It's talking about the location of Dead Sea. Where is Dead Sea located? Between Jordan and Israel. Unfortunately, Dead Sea is located in Israel. It's not politics. Close the door. Close the door. It's the location of the Dead Sea. بيتكلم على ماشي حاضر. ما بكلمش احنا ما بنتكلمش على Israel. Close the door. ماشي. Okay, so the Dead Sea isn't really a sea. The Dead Sea is the sea, but it's not a real sea. The Dead Sea, it's not a real sea. So now the Dead Sea, اسمه Dead Sea, but it's not a real sea. It's a very large lake. It's a very large lake. يعني هو بحيرة كبيرة اسمه Dead Sea, but هو actually it's a lake. It's a very large lake. Where is it located? Between Palestine and Jordan. Okay, which is now Palestine occupied by Israel. That's why they call it Israel and Jordan. But it's actually مش الفلسطين محتلة يعني occupied صح؟ مش الفلسطين occupied by Israeli and now they divided Palestine to two parts, Palestine and Israel. افتكرت يا حبيبي؟ لا. Palestine, the country of Palestine was occupied صح? By the Israeli people and they divide the country to two. One part or one half is called Palestine and the other half is called Israel. So the Dead Sea, or the large lake of Dead Sea, is between Israel and Jordan. ماشي. Dr. Sharif is saying Habiba has a geography disaster. You have many issues with geography ولا ايه يا حبيبة? He's saying you think Saudi Arabia is in Africa. والله Saudi Africans, alhamdulillah. Okay, Salah, I don't hear you. Ibrahim, I don't hear you guys. You need to be more interactive. Okay, so where is this large lake, the sea, the Dead Sea large lake located? It's located between Israel and Jordan borders, okay? People call it a sea because it's salty. Why people they call it the sea? Because it's salty like a sea water, okay? Or like the ocean. So now we know that the sea water and the ocean water is very salty. The sea water and ocean water is very salty. That's why, because the water, the lake water is very salty, so they call it sea. They call it Dead Sea because nothing lives in it. Or بحر الميت because nothing lives in it or even near it. Nothing lives in it ولا near it ولا حواليها ولا جواها. بيموت بيخرب كل حاجة. Okay? Why not? The water is very salty. يلا حبيبي محمد. Third paragraph.
The Dead Sea is 7 times salter than the ocean. However, the water.
حبيبي محمد عندك exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I use exclamation mark when I'm talking about strong emotions. So you cannot say the Dead Sea is 7 times saltier. You have to see the Dead Sea is 7 times saltier than the ocean because the حاجة wow. يلا يا حبيبي.
However, the water in the Dead Sea.
However, مش however. However احنا بنتكلم حاجة important information which is amazing, mesmerizing, surprising. So however intonations يا حبيبي.
However, the water in the Dead Sea isn't uniformly salty. It's saltier near the bottom.
Saltier. It's saltier.
It's saltier near the bottom than it's near the surface. At about 40 meters below the surface, a kilogram of sea water has about 300 grams of salt. There is so much salt near the bottom that the water can't hold it all. The salt piles up on the bottom of the sea.
Okay, so let's see. It says the Dead Sea is saltier than the ocean by 7 times. The Dead Sea water is saltier by the ocean than the ocean by 7 times. Okay. It says, but however, ولكن, the water in the Dead Sea isn't uniform يعني one set, one group. So it says it is not uniformly salty يعني ايه؟ يعني مش كل الحتت of the Dead Sea نفس water نفس salt level. Okay يعني ايه uniform؟ يعني uniform يعني حاجة واحدة صح؟ So uniformly salty يعني هم مش كل ال different parts of the Dead Sea salty in the same level. It's saltier near the bottom than near the surface. So the surface is salty. As I go down and down and down and lower to the bottom, the salt level becomes higher. يعني في المية مثلا نفترض on the surface is 10%, in the middle مثلا 20%, and when I reach the bottom of the Dead Sea, it reaches up to يعني per kilo 300 يعني 30%. When I reach to the bottom of the sea, the sea level, the sea salt level reaches up to 30%. يعني for 1 kilo 300 grams. For 1 kilo يعني ايه 300 grams يعني 30%, 30%. Okay. There is so much salt near the bottom that water can't hold it. Yani the level, okay, the depth or the level of salt is too much at the bottom that it can't mix. زي sugar, when you put too much sugar or you put too much salt in a water, when you try to dissolve it, it doesn't dissolve, صح? When the sugar, there's too much sugar or there is too much salt في liquid, مهما انت عملت هياخد very long time to dissolve. ليه؟ عشان ال level of sugar او level salt في المية too much. So a new salt or the new particles of sugar ما بيحلوش, they don't dissolve. عشان ايه؟ المية خلاص ال capacity of the مية للsugar ده او للكذا it's enough. The salt piles up. اللي بيحصل ايه؟ Because there's too much salt, so the salt they pile up ايه؟ يعني بيجمع. Pile of clothes يعني ايه؟ الكورة ايه مثلا الكوم. Pile up يعني ايه؟ بيعمل كوم، بيكون. اوكي pile of clothes يعني ايه؟ كوم من الملابس. Pile of shoes يعني ايه؟ زي mountain of shoes. Pile of salt يعني mountain of او group او ايه الكوم من الايه حتة كبيرة من salt. Pile يعني ايه؟ يعني بيجمع. Pile up يعني ايه؟ فوق البعض. Pile up, pile up, pile up, pile up, pile up. Like مثلا you had many homeworks 2 sessions back, you had more than 5 homeworks في ال previous session. كل your homeworks حصل ايه؟ What happened to all your homeworks? They piled up يا عبد الله صلاح الدين اللي he's going to sleep. They piled ايه؟ up. Today you will have a lot of homeworks. So كل ال homeworks من 2 sessions وكل ال homeworks من ال previous sessions وكل ال homeworks من ال today session, they will pile up and you have to do it till Thursday. This is called a piling up. This is called a الغوم اللي افتحوا microphone. Piling up or pile up. اسمه ايه؟ pile up يعني ايه؟ بيكون بيتراكم كده فوق البعض فوق البعض فوق البعض فوق البعض. زي مثلا انا عندي exams صح؟ انا عندي exams في الهاي سكول وكل السبجكت هيكون في يوم واحده وانا ولا فتحت الكتاب ولا خدت ماث ولا خدت انجلش ولا خدت اي حاجه وكل الكتب piled up فوق البعض ومش عارفه افتح مين ولا هروح فين ولا اعمل ايه ولا هنط من شباك ولا هقتل نفسي ولا هحرق المدرسة ولا هروح أقتل البرنسبل ولا أعمل نفسي مجنون ولا همشي في الشارع عشان يجي لي كورونا عشان ما أعملش الامتحان صح؟ Am I correct, guys? Muhammad is smiling. He's thinking about that. Okay, Salahuddin Habibi, read the next particle. Article. There are no
There are no plants or animals in or near the Dead Sea. Fish that go into the Dead Sea from the river Jordan die immediately. But the water isn't deadly to humans. We can swim in the ocean, however, because
in the
it's
Dead
so
Sea. We can swim in the Dead Sea.
just we can swim in the ocean, however, because it's so salty, we can float very easy.
So it says that there are no plants or animals near the Dead Sea. Any fish that goes into the Dead Sea from the river Jordan immediately dies. بيختنق. الملح هيخرج من مناخيره من عيونها من كل حاجة. اللي هيكون ايه؟ هيكون فسيخ. فسيخ هذا صح؟ We will bring the fish, we'll throw the fish in the Dead Sea. In 5 minutes we have فسيخ صح؟ ولا الرنجة. Which one is salted? فسيخ is salted ولا الرنجة is salted?
I think so.
فسيخ is
No,
salted ولا رنجة is salted؟
I don't know.
ها محمد صلاح الدين. Which fish is salted fish? You Egyptians you eat شم النسيم. فسيخ is salted fish ولا رنجة is salted fish? I don't know.
I don't eat فسيخ, but فسيخ is more.
فسيخ is a salted fish, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll grab a fresh alive. I'll grab a fresh live fish. I'll enter it. Okay, I will dip it. I will dip the fish, any fish, inside the Dead Sea for 5 minutes. I'll take it out and I'll have a فسيخ or شم النسيم. شم النسيم is all around the corner, right? It's like about 2 or 3 weeks from now. So you would have فسيخ instead of going and buying it from the supermarket. So like the Jordanian or Israeli people or Palestinians always have fresh فسيخ. Okay. So it says because of the high level of salt in the Dead Sea, it's deadly for the fish, but it's not the same for humans. We as humans can swim in the Dead Sea just just like we swim in the ocean. However, because the Dead Sea is saltier, so we can float very easy. The bottom of the Dead Sea is about 700 meters below the level of the ocean. So if I have, this is the bottom of the ocean and this is the bottom of the Dead Sea, the bottom of the Dead Sea is lower by 700 meter. The bottom of the Dead Sea is about 700 below, less under the level of the ocean by 700 meter. Because it's so low, all the rivers and streams in the area flow into it. صح؟ أي حاجة lower surface كل liquid كل المية كل أي حاجة إيه it flows into the Dead Sea. Okay? All the rivers and streams in the area flow into it and nothing flows out عشان هو it's very deep. هو deep جدا or it's very low, so every stream يعني حركة المية, every stream, every river in the area, it flows in the Dead Sea. That's because it's very deep, nothing gets out of it, nothing, no water, no streams, no rivers, they get out of it, okay? Then the hot desert sun heats the water and evaporates into air because Dead Sea is near in the middle of the desert. The hot direct sun of the desert sun, it hits directly على Dead Sea, and because of the extra heat, the extra sun rays, the water evaporates, and it evaporates بيبخر صح؟ It leaves the salt behind. يعني evaporate لما mama she's making food and she forgets to turn off the fire, all the water in the yakhni, in the stew يعني yakhni, all the water in the stew will evaporate and the bezella will burn صح؟ when مثلا صلاح الدين's mom or Muhammad's mom is making bezella باللحمة, she forgets to turn off the stove, all the water in the stew يعني يخني, all the water in the stew evaporates and the bezella will burn. Or مثلا Habiba is making chicken with she's making مثلا a spaghetti bolognese, she forgets to turn off the stove or the oven. Okay, all the sauce, all the liquid, all the sauce in the spaghetti will evaporate, هيبخر, and then هناكل مكرونة محروقة باللحمة محروقة صح؟ بتعمل كده. It makes a wooden noise. حتة كده مكرونة ناشفة. Okay, guys. So let's see. Let us see. Let's choose a heading for each paragraph. It says you need to choose we have to answer this part first. Let's answer the first part before we go and choose a heading. Why is yalla? Who's first? Sarah, read question number 1 and answer.
Okay. Why it's so easy to float in the Dead Sea? Because it's salty.
Salt. ملح, salty. Good job. Habiba, number 2.
What would happen if a fish entered the Dead Sea? It will die. It will die.
It will die. Salahuddin Habibi, number 3.
Number 3. Why it's so salty? Because it's below sea level, so water can flow, but nothing can flow out. Because nothing. The first one.
Because it is below sea level, so water can flow in, but nothing can flow out. And because of the direct sun, because the direct light of desert sun, the water evaporates and keeps only salt. It keeps the remaining salt. Good job, guys. So it says, next exercise, it says choose a heading for each paragraph. Choose the heading for each paragraph. Let's see, Yalla Habib Muhammad. The man in the picture isn't lying in very shallow water. He's actually floating on the surface. How is that possible? Because he's floating in the Dead Sea, a very unusual body of water. What's the heading for this?
Why do things float easily in the Dead Sea?
Beautiful. Why do things, because things is a plural, هناخد the helping verb of do. Why do things float easily in the sea, in the Dead Sea? The next headings we have, why is it so salty? Why is it called the Dead Sea? Okay, yalla ya Sarah. The Dead Sea isn't really a sea. It's a very large lake between Israel and Jordan. People call it a sea because it's salty like the ocean. They call it the Dead Sea because nothing lives in it or near it. Okay. Why not? Because the water is very salty. So why is it so salty? Why is it called Dead Sea?
Why it's so salty?
Guys, what do you think? Why is it so salty?
Number 2. Why it's called the Dead Sea?
Yes, it's talking about why is it called the Dead Sea. Good job. Yalla ya Habiba. Paragraph number 3. The last option, خلاص يعني. Why is it so salty? That it is giving the information about the Dead Sea. Okay. Guys, this is a paragraph. صح? This is a story about Dead Sea. Okay. This is a story about Dead Sea. So what do we have? We have an introduction. هو ما دخلش على طول like محمد الديد سي فيها كذا و40 متر وعنده 300 جرام وكذا كذا صح؟ It gave introduction. مثلا it puts a photo. Definitely we are not going to use the photo, okay? But we can say مثلا whoever مثلا visits Dead Sea, they can float on the surface very easily. How is it possible? Because the Dead Sea has a very unusual body of water. The introduction. اوكي تانية، ليه اسمه كذا؟ again introduction. الديد سي اسمه كذا بكذا، واحد اتنين تلاتة. الديد سي مكانها فين؟ الديد سي بتاعت introduction، يعني في ديد سي اسمه كذا بيسموه كذا مكانها كذا، ده كله ايه؟ introduction. لما خلص الانترودكشن it came down to the body, it came down to the ايه؟ الهيكل or the body of the story, the هيكل or the body of the story، صح؟ So here it gave me juicy details. Dead Sea 7 times saltier than ocean. Okay. هو the salt مثلا في البottom أعلى من surface. Okay. The surface 40 meters مثلا. The surface is about sorry the bottom is about 40 meters من كذا. من ocean السالت اللي في bottom 300 gram صح is about 300 gram. Okay. ايه كمان مثلا details number 2 there are no animals because of كذا, the surface is very low, whoever ايه كذا كذا كذا. Okay. Introduction. Okay. This is the introduction. This is the introduction. Introduction can be my personal opinion. Introduction can be a scientific act, the scientific fact. Introduction, it can be people's opinion. It can overall. Here, it's giving you a scientific fact. Here in this story, or in this article, you have a scientific fact. يعني ايه معلومة scientific معلومة. Okay. It's giving you a fact, a real fact or a scientific fact. Okay. Because هو it's 700 meter below the surface of the ocean وكل rivers وكل كل ال what do they call it? كل ال water flows, they go inside it. Okay. Nothing gets out and the sun evaporates. So it leaves the salt behind. This is the conclusion. هو Dead Sea because كل حاجة بيدخل فيه ما فيش حاجة بيخرج منه. This is the scientific fact. So what is my scientific fact? Either أنا بحب كذا أنا ما بحبش كذا or either a scientific fact بيقول كذا either people opinion is كذا either people they use it يعني introduction conclusion بالخلاصة دي اسمه كذا because of كذا دي بيعمل كذا because of كذا either opinion or either fact. Either results. Okay. This must happen in every single individual writing. Anytime أنا بكتب أنا بعمل اسمه إيه مثلا نفترض I told you guys do a write an article about apple trees, write an article about banana plants. You have to use the same formula. You have to give me مثلا كheading. Okay. You have to give me لكل paragraph. Why not to give me a proper heading لكل paragraph and then explain it in the paragraph نفسها and give me conclusion. الابل trees بيعملوا كذا الابل trees كذا people بيحبوا apple أكثر من مثلا more than other fruits because of كذا البananas كذا bananas are better because كذا they are worse because of كذا. So please I need a proper paragraph. Circle true or false. يلا حبيبي يلا محمد read the first answer question and answer.
The Dead Sea is really a big lake. True.
Good job. Sarah.
Right. Sorry. The Dead Sea is between Israel.
Israel. Israel. Israel. Israel. as if Israel as if أنت عندك your two words Israel. Israel. Israel.
Israel. And Syria.
Syria. Syria.
Syria. True. False.
False. It's between where is it? Israel and
Jordan.
Jordan مش جوردان Jordan. يلا حياتي حبيبة.
The Dead Sea is salty like the ocean, falls more than the ocean.
Yes, it tastes saltier than the ocean. Okay. حبيبي صلاح الدين حبيبي. يا صلاح يا حبيبي يا صلاح.
The Dead Sea has lots of fish. False.
False. Why?
Because if the fish went inside, it will be fishy.
It will immediately Hello. It will immediately die due to high level of salt in the Dead Sea. Any fish enters in it, it will immediately die. انت جبت conclusion. Thank you very much, but you cannot say that. But nice one. It will be due to high level of due to high salt level in the Dead Sea, any fish enters the Dead Sea, it will immediately die. Thank you يا فسيخ يا صلاح يا فسيخ. يلا محمد.
The Dead Sea is poisonous to humans. False.
False. What people, what can they do?
They can float.
أيوة, they can float where? On the surface. They float easily on the surface. Guys, the Dead Sea أصلا it's like a therapy. People with bone pain ولا عندهم arthritis أو عندهم skin problem, they go to the Dead Sea. هو زي medicine. The Dead Sea, the water of Dead Sea, بسبب the high level of salt, it's like a medicine. People with different skin disease, bone disease, different diseases, they go to the Dead Sea, okay, and they do like a treatment. Yani they go and swim in it. It's very good. It's like a medicine, okay. Sarah.
The weather at the bottom is the least salty. Yes.
The least?
لا
ولا
least
the most?
most.
So this is false ولا true?
Uh, false.
False. It's the most salty. Let's see. Taste salty like the ocean. Oh, it tastes as salty as the ocean. The answer is, who answered that? Salah,
Me, حبيبة.
who answered that? Habiba? Bravo. Would you like to swim in the Dead Sea? Why or why not? Do you prefer to swim in the ocean, in the swimming pool? Why? Okay, let's see. Guys, which one would you prefer? You prefer to swim in the Dead Sea while in an ocean while in a swimming pool? Yalla ya Salah. Which would you prefer? Salah is going to sleep.
Swimming pool.
I prefer to swim in a
I
swimming pool.
prefer to swim in the swimming pool
Why?
because it's better.
Okay, Maxi, why? Tell me. I don't know. Tell me your opinion. I want to hear your opinion.
Ocean, I don't like salty water.
So you don't like salty water. So you don't like any salty
Not too
water?
much.
That means you don't like the Dead Sea or you don't like the ocean. What else? What other reasons you don't like to swim in the ocean?
This ocean is so big.
The ocean is big. So you feel it's dangerous, huh? You feel
No, I don't feel dangerous, but like if I wrote something and I forgot myself, maybe I can go for.
So the ocean is very big. You might get lost or you might, what else?
Might die.
You might drown. Might drown and die. You might drown and die. Okay. يلا يا حبيبي. يلا محمد. Which one do you prefer? Dead Sea ولا ocean or swimming pool?
Swimming pool.
I prefer to swim in the swimming pool.
I prefer to swim in the swimming pool.
Why is that?
Because it's less danger and small, not big enough.
So the swimming pool is small because it's not dangerous at all. What else?
That's nothing else.
You can have more fun at the swimming pool or less fun? More. Okay, the swimming pool water is clear. So I can see what's for me. I don't go in the ocean because I cannot see inside the water. I don't know what's under my leg. So I like swimming pool, not because it's salty while it's dangerous. Like I don't like the ocean because I can't see what's inside. The water color is not clear enough for me to see what's inside. So I like swimming pool because the water is clear. The water is not salty. So when the water enters my nostrils, or if the water enters my eyes, it wouldn't, or my throat, my mouth, it wouldn't burn. صح?
I hate the water that comes in my nose or my.
You know, Farah, if you go to the ocean, if you're swimming in the ocean and the water enters in your nostrils, el tube, el tariq, يعني, the nostrils, and it started burning, it means that there is an infection, في infection or في inflammation in your nostrils. البني آدم اللي ما عندوش مشكلة في الساينسز أو في النوسترال لما يدخلوا السويمينج بول يدخلوا في الأوشن it wouldn't burn them. The salty water, it would not hurt them. Like my hand, Salahuddin, if I put my hand in salted water, it will hurt?
No.
No. If my hand is cut, or if my hand is burned, or if my hand has a wound,
The thing will like.
It will burn, it will sting. It's a sting يعني كده كده. So why when I go to the why will I go whenever I go to this ocean, the water burns because there is something wrong inside. Because في حاجة في infection في مثلا dryness, you know لما في dryness so I'm blowing my nose صح؟ في blood is coming out يعني ايه أنا جرحت نفسي من جوه. I'm cutting myself, hurting myself من جوه. So when I go to the ocean and there is a cut from inside, it will burn me. When I go to the ocean and في inflammation, في ورم من جوه بسبب البرد بسبب الفلو بسبب الدست بسبب whatever, it start burning. So it means that it's not. So they say when you go to the ocean, wash your nostrils with the sea water, because salted water is like a medicine. It's like a medicine. Okay. So why is it important? Why is it important, Sarah, to learn to swim? Why is it important to learn to swim?
In my opinion.
Your opinion. Why is it important? Well, it's not important to learn how to swim.
It's important because if I think when مثلا we go to the sea or you go to swim, everybody swim or
It's important because it's a good sport. It's a very good sport. It keeps you healthy. It's very important when you enter water, you don't drown, you don't die, yes. You can save yourself. It's important. If you are not, even you're not swimming and you see someone drowning or someone in danger, you can save. Imagine you're at the sea or you're at the swimming pool, you're just sitting and there is a baby, there is a boy, there is a girl. They just enter the water and they lose the control and they're drowning and there's no one to help except you. And you will sit and watch because you don't know how to swim.
Yes, oh my God, the girls. Oh.
Or you will bring your camera and you open Instagram and you make a live of a girl drowning girl. صح? Because I'm sorry guys, please call 911 while I see how he's drowning. While I see how he's drowning because I really don't know how to save. So it's very important. You can save yourself and you can save others. You can save yourself and you can save other. Okay, so it says, let's listen and read.
What are we going to do today?
I think we should write this song.
Why don't we use some books for ideas?
Okay, I'll bring some down to the studio.
Hey, listen to this poem. It's really great. Water. Water, water everywhere, water all around. Water in the ocean, water in the ground. Water in a river, water in a creek.
Miss, can I
water
go
in a
bring
faucet
the
with
charger
a
of
drip
the...
drip leak. Water in a fountain, water in a lake. Water on a flower as day begins to break. Water from a waterfall, rushing down from high. Water from a dark cloud, raining from the sky. Water boiling hot, water frozen ice. Water in a blue lagoon, clean and clear and nice. Water at a fire, gushing through a hose. Water in a garden, so every flower grows. Water for the animals swimming in the sea. Water, water everywhere, for you and for me. By Mish Goldish.
Mish Goldish. So water, water everywhere, water all around, water in the ocean, water in the ground, water in a river, water in a creek, water in a faucet And with the A, drip, drip, leak. Water in a fountain, water in a lake, water in a flower as day begins to break. Water from a waterfall rushing down from high. Water from a dark cloud raining from the sky. Water boiling hot, water frozen ice. Water in a blue lagoon, clean and clear and nice. Water at a fire gushing through a hose. Water in a garden so every flower grows. Water for the animals swimming in the sea. Water, water everywhere for you and for me. Okay, let's answer the following questions. Let's answer the following questions. Okay, this is listen, underline the syllables which are stressed in the lines. You have to underline the syllables that are stressed in the line.
What are we going to do today?
I think we should write this song.
Why don't we use some books for ideas?
Okay, I'll bring some down to the studio.